This is a Pecha Kucha presentation for my game Hansel and Gretel, The Dark Woods. Our presentation will consist of a summary of the story with images that convey the storyline of the game as well as the economic factors that are included in the game. I hope you will enjoy the presentation. Now, let's get introduced to the characters in the game. Hansel is a fat and pudgy child. He is not a very strong kid, but he is very intelligent. He is consistently studying literature and learning more about the world. His expertise is his knowledge of the world and how it works. His know-how will help the player progress through various challenges in the game that his sister cannot complete without his assistance. Now let's move on to his sister. Gretel, on the other hand, is a very fit and athletic child. She loves to hunt and fish and is very in tune with nature. Her favorite weapon is her bow, which she takes with her everywhere. Her bond with nature will help the player complete challenges that need her brawn coupled with her hunting skills to progress throughout the entire game. Now let's move on to the cat. The children have a cat that follows them everywhere. This cat was adopted by the children from the wild and has become part of the family. The cat follows the kids into the dark woods. The cat will appear in various points throughout the game to lend assistance as well as provide hints to help the player progress through levels and different challenges. The stepmother. She has and always will hate the children. She wants nothing more than to be rid of them. After the children's mother passed, their father was lonely and wanted companionship. Their father unknowingly married their stepmother, who was at her core pure evil. The stepmother's greatest secret was never revealed to their father, but will become known to the children. The game will have different difficulties based on the player's level of skill. The players will be able to change their difficulty during any point in the game. However, changing the difficulty of the game will render any progressing achievements towards beating the game on that difficulty obsolete. There will be a normal, hard, and insane difficulty in the game. The story starts out at the point where their stepmother leads Hansel and Gretel into the dark woods on what she says is a walk. During this journey into the woods, Hansel, who is unsure, leaves a trail of white pebblestones behind to help them find their way back home. These white pebblestones will be used as currency and will be what you, the player, are trying to collect to help you progress throughout the game and buy various items. These stones will be used to help upgrade items as well as buy new items. These upgradable items will have different effects that will help the children destroy enemies and complete different challenges. The stronger items will need to be unlocked as the player's character levels up and gains experience. Some of the items that the player will be able to purchase in the game will be power-ups and other additional items. The player will also be able to purchase extra lives. The extra items will consist of a ray of light, the cat, and short-term invincibility. The items will have different tiers based on the amount of pebblestones the player has that they are available to spend. The player will have the freedom to spend their pebblestones any way they please. This will give the player the ability to purchase upgrades for one weapon versus another weapon if they so choose. It is recommended that the player purchase at least one basic upgrade for each weapon, but they may spend their stones how they see fit during the course of the entire game. The enemies in the game will mainly consist of witches that appear through the levels that try to kidnap the children. The witches will give the players a difficult time as they try to progress throughout the game. The witches will get stronger and have different abilities throughout each level. All of the witches will be able to be beaten at the basic level, but it will be recommended that they upgrade items. The player will be able to play cooperatively with other players. The players will, while playing together, will collect the stones throughout the level, with each player receiving the other player's stones as well as their own. This will keep the players from competing against each other and against the game. You will progress through the game and occasionally find bonus challenges that give the player bonus amounts of white pebblestones. These challenges are hidden and will be triggered by the player interacting with their surrounding environment. The bonus challenges will get more difficult as the player progresses through each level in the game. You will not be able to steal money in this game. Stealing is not allowed, as it would take away from the main focus and challenges of the game. You will have to earn your money on your own and progress through the levels. Earning currency will also help you get the upgrades you need to progress through the game with ease. You will need the currency to help you beat the multiplayer survival mode. The survival mode will be endless. The survival mode will consist of you, the player, trying to survive through multiple hordes of evil witches attacking you in different rounds. The rounds will get more difficult as the player progresses. The player will also be able to play cooperatively with another person, friend, etc., to help them defeat these hordes of evil witches. The players will compete in survival mode for achievements as well as global recognition. The players will be able to play survival mode by themselves or with their friends. Only the best players will find themselves at the top of the leaderboards among the world's best survivors. Those witches do get difficult. While playing the story mode, the player will have to defeat mini-bosses, which will consist of larger and more complex witches that have special abilities and weaknesses. The witches will reward the player with more pebblestones or weapon unlocks. These mini-bosses will help the player hone their witch hunting skills and give the player another goal to achieve in the game. The player will fight a regular boss at the end of every stage they are at before progressing to the next stage. There will be a boss for all 9 stages and a final boss at the 10th and last stage. The last boss will be the most difficult, and this boss will be the most time-intensive and difficult battle of the entire game. And don't want to spoil that for you, but you'll find out. Play the game how you want, play with a friend or play alone. The witches are waiting. Hansel and Gretel do need to find their way home. Their evil stepmother will stop at nothing to keep you away from home. Find your way home. Upgrade your weapons and become the most resilient kids out there. Shown here is a list of all the image sources that I've used. All of these images have mostly been grabbed from Google Images. I hope you have enjoyed this presentation, and I know you can't wait to play Hansel and Gretel: The Dark Woods. Now, get a friend and get ready for a witch-thumping good time.